Okay, so I have here this is your present, okay? And Euronome and Asiya will send this to you, okay? And I'll bring some to you, right? These are principal parts, okay?
So we've only gone over 3 principal parts?
Yes, okay.
Can you tell us like what all the columns are?
Yes, yes. Let me share, hang on just a second, let me share something with,
And these are for us to keep?
those are for you ever, for you to keep forever. Okay, hang on just a second, I'm gonna show you what I've got here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Okay, all right. Okay, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, I'm going to blow this up a little bit. This looks a little bit different than what we're. Okay, all right. So this is the version I'm going to send you is just a little bit different than this one, but it's the same sort of thing. Okay. All right. So this is a chart of principal parts, right? Okay. So there are 7 columns here. You can see this, right? Euronome and ACA, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are 7 columns. So at the very top, this is agapao. Okay, this is the verb that we just learned, right, in this last one. Agapesa, right? Agapao. This is where look on your thing in the very beginning of Greetings 14. It's right up there. Agapeton, right? If you look on the thing, okay. Here we are. Here it is, right here. Everybody see this? Okay, there. That's a verb. So agapao, right? Agapao, agapao. Now the next column, in which you see some, not very many words, but some words, are the contracted form. So the agapao, the first column, is the form of the verb that you will look up, that you can look up in the lexicon. Euronome and ACA, that first column, column A, is actually the number of the reading that the verb appears in.
Oh, cool.
But it's a little bit off. It's not entirely accurate, so I didn't include it in the one I'm going to send you. But they're all alphabetized, okay? All right, so.
Is the first column the present then?
Present, yes, present, active, okay, present indicative, right?
But not necessarily active.
Well, because some of them can be passive or middle,
Right.
Okay. But this is the present form, all right? And then the second column is its contracted form. This is what you would see it in a text, okay? You would see it in that form in the text, okay? These are always going to be first person singular, right? Okay, then the third column over, agapeso, is the future, right? So agapao is the uncontracted present, the first person singular. The next column is the contracted form, agapo, and the next column is the future, agapeso. Right? And then comes the next column over is agapesa, right, which is the aorist, right? And then the next column over, agapeka, right? That's the perfect. That's going to be your perfect form that we've just sampled just a little bit. And then the next one, agapemai, is the perfect passive. And then the last one is agapethane, which is the aorist passive. So let's look at the next one. So these are the 6 principal parts. We're working primarily with the first 3 for right now, although we've seen some aorist passives, okay? So an aorist passive in this selection that we've seen so far is, for example, por eutheta is an aorist passive imperative. If we come down here a little bit here's the aorist, por eutheson, okay, is the aorist passive, right? And why is that? Well, because deponents, actually you can go, why don't you find that verb on our chart here? maybe it's, is it even on here? For you, yeah. I just have it in the present, in the active mode. This verb, it's a passive. We use the passive forms for to express I am going, I am journeying. Okay. All right. So let's look at the next verb. Angelo, which means I announce, right? Angelo, and then then there's nothing in the second column because it's not a contract verb. And then angelo is the future. Angela is the aorist. Angelka, the perfect. Angelmai, the perfect passive. And angelthane is the aorist passive. Right? Now you will, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So some of them have like the 7th, 8th, and 9th principal parts.
Yes. Okay. So let's look at this one, and then you can see that there's another column, up angelo, and these are compounded forms of the verb. Okay, it's the same verb, but they're compounded forms.
What is a compound form?
That has a preverb on it.
Okay.
So this is up angelo, is apo, and then angelo.
So is that like some of the verbs we saw, like impodizo, like the impediment we were talking
That's right,
about? That would be
impodizo.
compound.
That's a compound form, yeah. So let's look at the third one, ago, which means I lead, right? Ago, oxo, future, agagon. Anka is the perfect, agmai is the perfect passive, and agthane is the aorist passive, and then you see that we have a compounded form, ace ago. It means I lead into, okay, ace ago. Some of these verbs are going to have more forms than others, but that's just the basic idea. Okay? All right, so this is your principal part chart. Now this is something that you will want to have with you everywhere. Okay? Here, I'm going to actually give you another copy. Okay? All right, so that you have, well, I'll make some more for those who aren't here. But since you're here, you get special treatment. Okay? You become a different color. Okay, because you're going to want to have these, you're going to want to station them at strategic places around your house. Okay? So, for example, I don't know. I don't know if you watch sports. So, for example, you'll see if you watch a football game. Okay, sometimes the coaches have a chart that they carry around with them. Okay, that's the principal parts. Okay, they always have the principal parts with them to refer to. Okay, because sometimes the quarterback will say, "Oh my God, I forgot the future of Ago," and the coach then looks on his principal part chart. Oh, well, that's going to be Oxo. Okay, so you're going to want to have this with you all the time to refer to, because you never know when you're going to need a principal part, and and there's a lot of them. So to remind yourself. Okay, so like in the bathroom on the mirror, put them right up there so that you can review your principal parts. All right, very good. All right, so I'm going to send you this electronically, and then you can print them out, okay? You don't know me?
Sounds good.
Not CA.
Perfect.
Okay, all right. So let's go back. Let's, all right. So let's look at it. So we were at the very end of our, we just have one sentence to go, right? Okay. So, and this is what the Angelos Kurio says, Abraham, and he says, Idu ego, here I am, look, I, right, kai epa, and he said, me ekbales, do not throw your hand upon your child, okay? and do not do poiesas. These are both aorist subjunctives, right? They're negative commands, all right? So we can use an aorist subjunctive for this. And don't do meiden, nothing, autoi, to them. So the rule on this, so actually, Euronome and ACA, will you explain the rule about negatives to the class here?
All of it?
Yes, all of it.
Okay.
And I'll write some, I'll do some things on the board while you do this, okay? I'll illustrate your comments.
All right, so the rule about negatives is that there are two different kinds of like negative things that we use in Greek. So there's simple, which is like me, which we have here in this sentence, and then ou, which we see a lot.
Okay.
Ook.
So these are simple.
Yes, these are simple. Or you can have compound negatives, which are like mayday or maiden, which
Right.
we have.
Complex or compound, right? So for example, uden, okay, or maiden. Very good, excellent, okay, good.
So it gets a little finicky. It matters both what kind of negatives you're using, so simple or complex, and it matters in what order you put them in.
Excellent.
Whether it negates the meaning or intensifies the meaning.
Exactly.
So if you have a simple negative followed by a complex negative, then the effect is just that it intensifies it. So it's
Very
like
good, very good. So
not
simple,
doing that.
simple plus compound equals intensifies. Okay, good.
So then if you have a compound plus another compound,
Very good.
negative, also intensifies.
Okay.
But
Mhm.
if you have compound followed by simple, so the
Yeah.
opposite of the first one, that negates it and makes it a positive. So that's like when we say, don't not attack someone. It would be just to attack someone, like in English. But
That's right, that's right.
and then if you have a simple and a simple together, then that also negates it, so it would be positive.
So in the words of Bill and Ted, that is a not heinous experience, right? Okay. Which makes it a positive experience, okay? All right, very good. So this is the rule. And here we have may, and they can be in couplets. So it can be uda, which means neither nor, okay? And here you have a me poiesis, meta poiesas, maiden. Don't do anything. Don't do nothing, okay? Don't do nothing, which means we would say don't do anything, right? So we always negate them. So there's always a principle of negation in English negatives. But in Greek we can intensify them, okay? So you can say, don't do nothing, never to no one, okay? And this is all negative, okay? Yes.
So in this case, because you have like a simple compound,
Yeah.
it's intensifies.
Yes. So you can think of meta as kind of a simple, even though it's got a particle with it. The difference between you can see this uda, okay, which we would say neither nor, okay. In other words, it's creating a complex. This is a complex sentence. Don't do X and don't do Y. So and do not do X. Okay. So you can think of meta followed by a compound. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether whether that's a compound or a simple. If it's followed by a compound, it just intensifies it. All right, very good. All right, so and let's do this last one. Noongar egnon. Okay. All right, so now, egnon, which means what? I what?
Perceived.
I perceive, I know. So what word, if we were going to look this up in the lexicon, what word would we look up? Well, let's try our chart out, okay?
Gignosko.
Gignosko, very good, very good. So you can actually look down the chart, right? We'll take off our temporal augment, right? Take the epsilon off, and we can look down, and it's a word that begins with gamma, right? This isn't all. We can't always do this, okay? Because sometimes it's tricky. But in this case, you can, and you can go down and you can find gignosko. So let's look at that gignosko, the principal parts for gignosko, right? Did everybody find it? Let me make sure it's on there.
It is.
Gignosko, okay. Gignosko, gnosomai is the future, and egnon is a second aorist, right? Egnon. Egnon, egnos, egno, right? So, and I know, all right, and then we have indirect discourse, that, hota, that phobe ton theon, okay? That you phobe, this is from phobeo, that you fear, okay? And note that it's a middle form, phobeomai, which means I fear. Phobeo means I cause something to fear. So phobeomai, that you phobe, so phobe, that you fear, ton theon, the God. Su, and note that this is an intensifying, that you fear the God. Okay, su, ton theon phobe, kai uk epheso, and you will not, this is a future, and you will not spare to huiu, or be sparing of, to huiosu, of your son, the one that is beloved, dia emma, on account of my, on my account. Right? Kalos, ara ekete erotemata. I need to fix that.
Could you re-explain the you fear and I fear thing again? You said that.
Yes. The verb is phobeo. Okay, the verb is phobeo. Here, look it up on your thing. Phobeo, phobeso, phobesa, right? Using active, and it means I cause fear, okay? I create fear, right? And so when we talk about I feel fear, okay, then we're going to use the middle, okay? So phobeomai, okay, means I'm afraid, right? Phobeomai. And then this in Attic is going to contract, okay? So phobumai, which means I fear, okay? I am afraid. Just like a phobe here, which is second person singular. So, for example, maybe we can look at a little passage, since the holidays are coming up, right? And for Christians anyway, this is a big time of the year, Christmas time. And many Christians, as part of their liturgy, as a part of what they do at this time of year, will go to the Christmas story, right? The so-called Christmas, the birth of Jesus story in Luke, okay? And this is what the angeloi, right? The angeloi tell the poimenes, right? You've seen all of these things, right? Me phobesta.
Do not be afraid.
Exactly. Me phobesta. Phobesta. Me phobesta. Be not afraid. Okay? Me phobesta, a negative imperative. Okay? And note that it's a present imperative, okay, not an aorist, okay? So not just right now, but in general. Okay? Yes?
So like in some languages there's always a command form. Is this like the command?
This is just the imperative. This is a regular imperative, right? That is the command form.
Okay.
That is the imperative, and this is the negative, so don't fear. But we can use the subjunctive as an imperative too sometimes, which is what we've seen. Okay, good. All right. Kalos. Okay, all right. So, any questions? You don't know me? ICA? No?
What was the last Bobumai?
Phobuma, yes.
What is that?
That's just the contracted form. So
Okay.
it goes phobeo, turns into phobumai. Because
Okay,
an
thank you.
epsilon and omicron becomes an u. All right, so we got a few minutes. Let's go on to our new reading, okay? To an agnosma peri tu glukeos hemeru. This is very exciting, okay? Hutos un ho angelos tu kuriu ek tu uranu elthon ton tu Abraham paida estosa. Okay, so let's go through the sentence. Hutos. Okay, what does hutos mean? Thus, in this way, hutos, in this way, therefore, ho angelos tu kuriu,
Messenger of the Lord.
the messenger of the Lord or the Master, ek tu uranu elthon,
Out of the sky,
out of the sky, elthon,
appear,
having come, okay? Erkomai, ema, or elusomai, elthon. Okay, so this is the aorist masculine nominative singular participle. Okay. Having come out of heaven, ton to Abraham paida esosa. He did something to the ton paida to Abraham. The what?
Female slave of Abraham.
No, not female. Ton.
Oh.
Ton paida. The child.
Oh, child.
The child, in this case, the child. So what did the angelos do? What did he? Saved. Yes, he said esosa. This is the aorist third person singular from soizo, which means I save. Okay. So, and in this way, therefore, ho angelos tu kuriu ek tu urano elthon, having come out of heaven, saved ton paida to Abraham, the child, the boy child of Abraham. Kalos. Kai zaphon ton logon peraton progonon etelutesa etelutesa. Oh, and look, I got an extra period. Darn. Okay. All right. So what would that be? Kai zaphon ton logon periton progonon etelutesa. He what? Zaphon.
Spoke about
The logon,
sentence.
the sentence, or can mean story. The story can be a word, sentence, story, speech. The speech, periton. Oh, look at that. It's an apostrophe. It should be a accent. Oh my gosh. All right. Pera, about, ton progonon, the ancestors. He etelutesa. He finished. Very good. Excellent. You can see telos in there. Okay. Telos. Remember the word telos? Which means what? What is the telos? I mean, you've just read some Aristotle. Okay. What is the telos? He's a teleological philosopher.
The goal.
The goal, okay, the end. So totelos. Totelos, which is like to genos or to epos or to Oh, ethos, year. To ethos. Okay, so, and remember that for these nouns, the stem ends in an epsilon. Teles, okay, actually the stem is like this. And this is what we typically work with is tela. So there you say tell you ta'o. So tele, and then we've got the verbal ending, okay? He brought to an end, he finished the story about his forefathers. All right, so kudraios lege, nun da alon muthon, peraton theon ex heges thai bulomai. Okay, so let's work on that. Nun, now, alon muthon. What's that? An alon muthon. What is alos? No, that's pas. Pasapan. Another, yes, an alon, another muthon, another story. Okay, muthos is what we get this, muthos. Another story, peraton theon, about the gods, ex heges thai bulomai. Bulomai, what? I wish. To tell. To narrate. Yes, very good. Palaipota. Once upon a time, palaipota. Ein bukolos onomasta anchises. Palaipotai, once upon a time, ein. There was a bukolos, a cowherd, very good. Onomaste anchises. Anchises by name. Anchises by name. And Metis explained to us who Anchises is. He's Aeneas' father. Anchises, right? This is how Anchises in the Aeneid, right? Anchises. Kai hemeron tina.
That time.
And tina hemeron, one day, tina hemeron, dia Aphroditein.
The goddess Aphrodite.
Okay, and dia, because of, okay, because of, or on account of, Aphrodite, kai glukun himeron. So what do you suppose glukun might mean? No, that's oligos. Glucose. Glucose. What do you suppose glucose might mean? As in, well, transliterate the first part. Glucose, right? Sugar. Okay, so what would glucose mean?
Like ambrosia, or
Sweet. Sweet. Glucose himeron. Sweet longing. Okay? Himeron. Glukun himeron. Ton baon emelesa. And emelesa means he was neglectful of his baon.
Okay, I have a question. In the glossary,
Yeah.
is this supposed to be sweet, or is that a different word?
Oh my gosh, I've got the wrong definition in there.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
very
no,
confused.
totally.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, that means, yes, sweet. Oh, I've got to, sometimes I just cut and paste and I forgot to do that. So I've got many things I need to fix on this one. Okay, very good.
Oh,
Good
but I
call.
was slightly confused.
Yes,
by that.
yes, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, so he was, on account of Aphrodite and sweet desire, he was neglectful of his cows, right? And we will find out just how that all happened anon. Okay, gang, great day, good work. Have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Come back, and we will see you. And Euronome will have a surprise for us on Tuesday. Very good. All right.